And it's Ken Kreitzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio and the West Point Football Report. Have a chance to talk to our good friend John Tolomer, the CEO of the Westchester Bank, who is a great sponsor of our program. We appreciate his help and that of the bank so much. And John, big win for West Point on Saturday down at Wake Forest. They came from behind, and just like your bank, their fullback Darrell Wolfhook carried about 6 guys into the end zone to score the third touchdown for West Point. What do you think of the game?
I thought it was terrific, really a great victory, and I'm looking forward to seeing this week's game against Air Force, see how we fare.
Very good. Now, your bank does a lot of community work, and we appreciate your help of our program here at the American Legion. And you've got a neat program you've been working on to distribute pajamas to needy youngsters around the area. Maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, Ken, what happened was we found, although Westchester County is considered a very affluent community, we find that there's a lot of need. And Jen Paturo, who handles that not-for-profit, the Pajama Program, came to us and said, we have a real problem with young adolescents who need pajamas and need books. And so we were able to not only gather some pajamas and books from our employees, but also some of our clients, and we were able to contribute to help people, underprivileged people here in Westchester, have pajamas, have someone read a book to them before they go to bed, and that's a really important thing that we probably all take for granted because we've had that, but when you look and when you can help somebody else and make a difference in somebody's life, we think that's really important.
Absolutely, and your bank prides itself on community service and involvement and working with local businesses. One organization I saw you've been working with is the Methodist Home for nursing rehabilitation, and I know so that's become an important partner for you.
Yes, they're a wonderful group, and they do a great work for seniors, and certainly it's a not-for-profit. And as a community bank, we think it's not only good business to be involved in the community, but we think it's good for the soul. And so we encourage our employees to find the charity that they want to help, and we try to support them. And the Methodist Home has been fabulous, and they're embarking on an expansion program to be able to even offer more services. So we'll be intimately involved in that as well.
That's terrific, and I know one of the products and services that you offer are money markets, both private and commercial. You got competitive rates. Tell us about that opportunity here at the bank.
Well, it's always been priced a little bit on the high side. It's been a loss leader per se. We've encouraged people to come and experience community banking at its best. So we offer a very competitive rate, 0.65 on money markets, both for consumers as well as businesses. And what we find is that when people come in and work with us, that they stay with us and they expand their relationships. And so we'll continue to be very competitive on our money market rate, encourage people to come in and experience community banking at its best.
Absolutely. We got to ask you, you've got a quote right here on your bookshelf from General George Patton, one of West Point's most illustrious graduates, World War II hero, of course. Why do you like that quote from General Patton?
Well, I actually studied a lot about General Patton. When I was a boy, a young adolescent, the movie Patton came out, and I began to read more and more about him. And I found when you look at a great leader who may have maybe stepped over the line politically, but was really a fabulous tactician and a wonderful general, I looked at, how can I model some of my behavior and some of the things that I do? And not everything he did, but try to take his best attributes that work in banking. And he talks here about, accept the challenges so that you can feel the exhilaration of victory. And I think anybody that wants to build a business like we did here at the Westchester Bank, you have to accept those challenges. You have to define those challenges, and you have to take them on head on and succeed. And so I thought it's a great example of how you can define the moment. When we started our bank in June of 2008, the market was pretty rosy. In September, October of 2008, we had the second worst financial meltdown in the country's history. So we had a challenge before us. We had a choice. We were either going to define the moment or let the moment define us. We took the challenge head on, and we've been one of the fastest growing community banks in America. So we're very proud of that. And so we can give a nod to the general.
Absolutely. He stands proudly at West Point in front of the Jefferson Library, and we'll have to show you that statue when you come up to visit the Academy. And visiting the Academy this week is U.S. Air Force Academy from Colorado Springs. They bring their football team and lots of other student activities. There's lots of competitions, other sports competitions, other academic competitions at the Academy. Do you have a feel for how big a rivalry this is between West Point and Air Force?
Yeah, I certainly do, and I think my father was a vet, and he served in the Army. He didn't quite make West Point, but we've always been an Army family. So I'll be watching the game and have my fingers crossed.
Absolutely. It should be a good game. John Tolomer, CEO of the Westchester Bank, thank you for your support of Sons of the American Legion Radio on the West Point Football Report. Look forward to talking to you again very soon.
Great, Ken. My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Our pleasure. Ken Kreitzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio and the West Point Football Report.